Hey guys, 0101 here. I'm using a new desktop recording software. It is called Bandicam. I bought the licensed version, which allows you to make videos with unlimited times. However, if you use the free version, you can make videos up to 10 minutes. And that's completely free, so that's kind of cool. Right, so the video today that I've made for you is something that I think every single person in Minecraft who likes to build things will want to have. This is a circle generator. I'm currently on Minecraft Realms, so this is of course vanilla and the most updated version that I can get. There are no mods. Realms does not actually allow mods, which is why I have so many command block contraptions. Okay, so if you do want to build something like this on your own, I would suggest that you learn the execute commands and also that you learn how the scoreboard works, because those are used extensively in this build. All of the math is performed through the scoreboard, and it's actually storming outside, so if you hear that, that's what that is. Yeah, so all the math is handled through the scoreboard. And yeah, so real quick, this circle that I made here is 50 radius, so I'm pretty sure it can actually go larger than that. So I think this can go any distance so long as it stays within the open chunks. So the way this works is you're going to go through your scoreboard. You're going to go to players. You're going to set. It'll come up with your name. These are the variables that are made to do this. There are 3 variables, 1, 2, and 3, and those are what handle all of the math. There is x and y, and that is your coordinate placeholders. And then there's also radius, which starts this whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to change radius, and we will make a 20 radius circles. So the radius does not include the block that I'm currently residing in. So keep that in mind. This is actually, well, whatever. Let's check it out. So here we go. We got our little guys running around, dropping off bricks. This guy right here, this is a placeholder. And the guys that are doing all the really quick movement right here, those are my runners. So you have an idea of what they are when I explain this. And then what you're left with is a really, really, really nice circle. Check that out. See the shadow? It's pretty awesome. Alright, so I have this divided up into 8 stages. This first stage here is triggered by this timing circuit here. What this is doing is this is just a little hopper timer moving one item back and forth. You get a nice steady pulsing out of that. This command block here is testing for a person who has updated their score, specifically the radius, onto something more than 2. So once you set your radius higher than that, then that will go off. And then this one here, this is what stops the timer. So it will take and move, this is relative, 1 block up and 5 blocks back, and it will put a redstone right there, which then stops the timer, as you can see. And so that just prevents it from continually finding, a person who fulfills that thing, because once you find them, you don't really need to keep finding them, you know what I mean? So that's why that's there. And then this one here, this is also relative. We'll take and fill the center of this little tower here, the first stage only, with redstone blocks. To get into this and how it works, this is basically what's going to happen is I've got command blocks on all 4 sides and a redstone block in the middle. It's very important to know which command blocks will trigger first, because a lot of this needs to be in order for it to work. So it will go west, which is 1, to east, and then north and south. So just to show you real quick. So first, second, third, and fourth. So first, second, third, and fourth. So with this, it allows you to be really compact with your design, and it's also extremely fast because it just is. I don't even know how many ticks that is, but it can do all 4 of these pretty much instantly with only the slightest delay between them to get some precedence. Okay, so this first stage here, all it's doing is it's summoning all of my runners and placeholders. There are 4 placeholders. They run in north, south, east, and west. And then there are 2 runners per placeholder which run parallel to me relative to the placeholder. So the placeholder that goes north will have 2 runners that go east and west. And then the one that goes south has ones that go east and west, and the ones that go east and west, or the placeholders that go east and west, have 2 runners each that run north and south. And then that's how we get this whole thing working. Then we have this here. It will teleport your runners 1 block away from where they were. No! Your server will be restarted in 5 minutes. Great. Okay, so we're going to go really fast. The orange blocks are Pythagorean's theorem, which is the secret to this entire thing. You're going to take your y-coordinate, square them. You're going to take your x-coordinate, square them. You're going to take your radius, square it. Then you're going to take your x plus y, and you're going to subtract that from the radius. And then if your answer is 0 or less, then that means that it needs to place a block. So that's pretty much what all of this does. And then, yeah. And then this right here will actually place a block. It's cloning. So whichever block that I have here, it will clone onto wherever the runners are that have reached the end of, the circle. The only bad thing is that you can't run 2 sets of relative coordinates. So the block's location that you will use as the piece to fill in the circle has to be absolute coordinates, which means that if you take and move this anywhere, you have to change those coordinates, and so that would be these 4 here and these 4 here, along with these coordinates up here at the top, but we'll get into those in a little bit. Alright, now once they reach the end, we need to move our placeholders. So this will move all of the placeholders 1 direction in whatever direction they are looking over. And then what it'll do is it'll teleport your runners back to the placeholder. And then it'll increment the y because the placeholders are moving. Also, another thing to note, the coordinates are only held by 1 runner. And that's all you need. As long as all of your runners are moving equal distances each time, each step, then you don't need to put your coordinates on each runner. So just do it on 1, and as long as everything moves the same direction, same speed, same distance, you're good to go. Alright, then once we get there, once the placeholders reach the end, we don't want them to keep on moving out. So what we do is we will take their current y, so the runner that has the y is connected to the placeholder. So as long as the y-coordinate is not longer than the radius that you've set, then it'll keep on going. But as soon as it does that, then it'll activate this set here, which kills all of the entities. So this is all of your runners and all of your placeholders. Now, if none of this triggers, basically the runners haven't reached the end of the circle yet, then it will go here. Now, this one here, also you need to use absolute coordinates. Well, not necessarily for this one. I can use relative coordinates because there isn't an execute command here. But because of the execute command, it changes the origin of the command from the command block to whatever entity you're looking for, which means that these need to be absolute coordinates here. This is going to be redstone blocks from stage 2, which is down here, the white blocks, all the way up to the top here. Yeah, so that's the nitty-gritty of how it all works. I think this should help you guys understand how it's done. I know that it took me a while. I had to take one of the maps that someone offered who actually built one of these and kind of take it apart and figure out what each piece is doing. But of course everything was in German because he was German, so that didn't really help because I don't really speak German. Anyways, this is actually, my design is a little different than his, so this is completely unique, my design. Once I understand the method of it, then I was able to build it. So I have less than a minute. So if you like the video, like, comment if you have questions. Eventually I want to make this that way you can build this yourself through a single command block, but as of right now I don't have that yet. So for now, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more interesting stuff like this, and I will see you all later.